Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video today because it's been announced, and I'm pretty sure you've heard by now, that the United States government has approved a plan to give out a certain amount of money to the majority, like 90% of people will receive this money as part of the stimulus check to help boost the economy and to help people during this really difficult time dealing with COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. It's still happening. It's still going on, and despite everyone's hopes that it would be over by now, it looks like the government has finally decided, yes, now is the time to give out some money because people need it. So what I wanted to make the video today and talk about is when you receive your stimulus check, should you invest that money or should you use it differently? First of all, obviously, if you need to pay bills with it or if you need to use that for something specific, use that money for something specific. But for a lot of people who are still working from home or still receiving some type of paycheck, this may be a good time to look at starting out investing because you might not have necessarily been expecting that money. And if you've got everything planned out to where you didn't necessarily need this money, that's great. I understand completely that this is really going to help a lot of people pay bills and catch up on credit card debt and things like that. So definitely use it for what you need to use it for first. But if you happen to fall into the category of someone who, when you receive this money, it's not going to go into any specific account or category, listen up because this video is for you. Before we get too far into this, I want to let you know about the investment app that I use. It's called Webull, and I'm going to put a link down in the description where you can get 2 free stocks just for signing up and making a deposit. Your first free stock is going to be kind of a low budget stock after you sign up and you get your account approved. You've downloaded the app and got your account approved. And the second free stock can be a pretty high budget one, up to $1,400 of free stock just for making a deposit of any kind. Doesn't have to be a certain amount. It can just be a deposit. And I know a lot of apps and things, they want you to deposit like 100, 1,000, things like that. This app does not have a specific requirement. You can deposit as much or as little as you'd like to. So without further ado, let's talk about this. The majority of people will fall into this category where you will receive around $1,200 for an individual. If you're married and you file jointly, you're supposed to receive $2,400 from what I understand. And if you have children, you're supposed to receive either $400 or $500 for each kid. I could be off a little bit on that, but those are the numbers that have been floating around now for a bit. That being said, if you are in that category where you don't have to spend this on bills or credit card debt or what have you, and you have this extra money now, I highly, highly recommend looking into investing it. Now is also a really good time to get into investing. Me personally, and again, you can take this advice and do what you want to with it. You don't have to invest, obviously. But me personally, I've been investing in the travel and tourism industry, such as cruise lines, airlines, those types of things, because the stocks are really low. And my personal hope and my personal opinion is that after this is all over, people are going to want to travel just as much as ever, especially after being stuck indoors for so long. We're just going to want to get out and do some traveling and go on some cruises. Obviously, it's probably not going to bounce back a week or two after coronavirus ends, but these are long-term investments. I really think that a year or 2 years or 3 years even from now, those stocks are going to be worth quite a bit. So what I do is in the mornings, I check the Webull app, which is what I use for investing because one, it's got tools that are professional, but it also has tools that you can use as a beginner. It's a great tool all around. You can grow with it as an investor. It's not something that you get and after you've learned how to invest, you have to go into something more advanced. Not the case. They have tools from beginner all the way to expert for free. They also don't charge any commissions on trades, which means I can trade as much or as little as I want to without paying any fees, which I love. So obviously, if this is your first time investing as well, I don't recommend putting the entire stimulus check into investments unless you want to. You can absolutely do that if you feel confident in the things that you're investing in. Go ahead, especially if you don't have to have that money for bills or to pay some type of credit card or a loan or something. That's really money that you're going to be able to put towards your future. But if you're an individual and you're getting a $1,200 stimulus check, why not put a couple $100 into some investments and see how they grow? Great time to really learn how to invest as well because you've got stocks that are super, super cheap. And obviously some companies are not going to bounce back from this and they may go bankrupt. So be careful investing in companies that are very high risk. Do your research, which here's another thing. The Webull app has tons and tons of resources. It even tells you on stocks if experts or analysts recommend buying the stock, selling the stock, holding the stock. It gives you a lot of good advice. It has a really nice section where it keeps up with the news for each stock. If you go to say Disney and you click on the news option for Disney, It's going to show you all the news that relates to the stock towards Disney, which I really like. So again, this is entirely up to you. Invest, don't invest, it's up to you. But I will say that now is the time, if you have the money, to really get in on a lot of these stocks that normally might just be out of your reach. I know a lot of these were really out of my reach originally in terms of buying more than one stock. Like, I'm not going to pay personally hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a stock, but now that stocks have dropped and a lot of these have really plummeted, and I can get in at prices that are affordable for each stock. Just to give you an example, the other day, and I've already sold it because I don't know how well it's going to do for the long term, but the other day I bought SeaWorld stock and I bought it super cheap. I think it was like right at around $10 or maybe under $10. And then the next day it had a spike and I sold it and I did make a profit. And because it went up to like $15, $16. It was insane. It was a big jump. Unexpected. I thought maybe this is going to be like a long-term, I was thinking in terms of theme parks and travel and tourism, but no, this was out of this world in terms of that spike, and it really surprised me. I think it surprised everybody who had SeaWorld stock, because I was reading the comments, which you can also do on each of these stocks. You have a comment section for everybody that's on Webull, and everybody was like, what's going on with SeaWorld? But that's what's cool about Webull, is you have all of your resources in one app. You've got your analyst information, news, past trends with this stock. You've also got comments from people who are investing on Webull. So you know, like your average person like you investing, giving their opinion on the stock and how well it's going to do. And again, you just have to be kind of good at looking through and determining, are these people's opinions worth listening to, and looking at the news and looking at the resources that are available to you and determining, is it something that you feel comfortable investing in. Now, me personally, I feel really comfortable with the amounts that I've been able to get these stocks. A lot of them have been really affordable, and I've been able to buy pretty good quantities of them, which normally I wouldn't be able to do. I would still really love some Tesla stock, but it's not in the range where I'm willing to buy it at the moment, because it's up in the hundreds. And Amazon, would love to have some Amazon stock, but it's over $1,000 at the moment. It's like $1,200, which is insane. But awesome for Amazon and those of you who have stock in Amazon. But I'm talking about like your average person. I was able to get stock in Carnival, which I personally really have been buying a lot of stock in Carnival. CUK and CCL, I think, is the other one. And so I've been buying quite a bit of Carnival. And I've also been getting some other cruise lines like Norwegian, and some airlines are what I'm really looking at the moment, because air travel is something we can't do without, guys. Think about it. It's not just something that's going to affect America if air travel is down, because we have people coming into the USA from all around the world, and obviously people going out of the USA to different destinations around the world. And if we don't have airlines here in America, we can't do that. And we cannot be a nation that is stuck on our own continent, in our own nation. We can't do that. In order to have business and to be able to function, we have to be able to travel. So personally, I think the airlines are going to bounce back and do better than ever after all of this is cleared up down the line. Obviously, it's not something that's going to happen overnight, unfortunately, but it is a really good time to start investing. If you're interested in investing, and that stimulus check is coming, and you're going to receive one. I know a lot of people who make over a certain amount are not going to receive that stimulus check, or won't receive as much. But like I said, when I was watching the news, it said something like 90% of people will receive this stimulus check, which is quite a few. So if you fall into that category where you're going to have even a little portion of that stimulus check left over, you may want to consider investing. And again, I'm going to put my link down in the description where you can get 2 free stocks for signing up and making your first deposit. Now, again, you sign up, download the app, make sure you click on open an account, because if you don't do that, you've just downloaded the app. So sign up through the link, download the app, open your account on the app. Takes just a few seconds. I think actually about a minute is all it took me. I recommend opening a cash account versus a market account, because that just means you're only going to be spending the amount of money that you deposit into your account. Market account just means you're going to be buying and trading on credit, which I don't recommend for your average person. I personally have a cash account because I like to know the amount that I'm spending, the exact amount. After you've got your account approved, that usually takes a few business days. So if you're thinking about investing, don't wait until next week or the week after, when the stock market has started to really rise, to apply for an account, because it takes a few days to get your account approved. After your account has been approved, you get your first free stock, which is awesome. Again, it's gonna be a low level stock, so usually around 10 bucks or lower. And then you make your first deposit. After you've made your first deposit, that's when you get the chance to get a high level stock. And I have heard of people getting Apple and things like that, which is just amazing for free. So after you make your deposit, it takes a few days for that deposit to get into your account, usually 5 business days. Then you get your second free stock, which is a high level stock. But you need to make sure that you use that link in the description so you get 2 free stocks. A lot of these apps only offer 1 free stock, and they're usually low level stocks. So it's just amazing that Webull is even doing this. So let me know in the comments what you think. What stocks do you think are worth investing in at the moment? I know everybody has completely different opinions about this. A lot of people, though, are in my same train of thought and investing in the tourism industry a lot right now. But let me know in the comments what you think. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely check out my affiliate link in the description to get your 2 free stocks with Webull. All right, guys, everybody stay safe, and I'll see you later.